To the Batmobile. Let's go.
Atomic batteries to power. Turbines to speed.
Roger. Ready to move out.
All right. Boy Banter, episode 98.
Woo.
2 away from the first live episode. We are not ready for that. I'm just going to say that right now. Just putting that out there. We haven't done a live video since the announcement video. Mm-hmm. God, we got to do another live video. I'm Thor. That's Brian. We are Boy Banter. Let's recap that week in Nerd.
Yeah, buddy.
That's what we do. So this was an interesting week because there wasn't a lot of news, but there was a lot of news. Does that make sense?
No.
Okay, cool. Well, let's unpack it. So Disney's gonna take over the world, and part of their master plan for world domination is to possibly buy back their rights to their properties that are owned by 21st Century Fox, 20th Century Fox. I don't know what they call themselves anymore.
Yeah, me neither.
But whatever, Fox. So they're not in talks to buy all of Fox. They're just in talks to buy their properties. Mm-hmm. But I think they're also probably talking to Fox to license movies and TV shows. Because we all know they have the streaming service coming. And all the news revolves around Disney. Literally, it all revolves around Disney. So they have the streaming service coming. So they also announced this week that the Marvel Netflix series will no longer be on Netflix, and they're going to be exclusive to the Disney streaming channel. So, and then they announced that they're going to have a Star Wars live action on the Disney streaming.
Yeah.
And then more Star Wars news that technically is Disney, but we'll get into that here in a minute. So let's just take Disney possibly buying their properties from 21st Century Fox or 20th Century Fox, whatever, Fox. So Marvel, Jesus Christ, X-Men and Fantastic Four.
Yep.
That's Fox. Mm-hmm. Sony has Spider-Man. They got their kind of weird deal going with them.
Right.
Which is still very weird, but whatever. So going off just the news that 21st Century Fox and Disney, Marvel, whatever, Marvel Studios, whatever, Disney. I think it's Disney. I don't even know anymore. See, I'm confused. What do you think of all that?
I mean, the speculation has been so back and forth on the whole deal that I'm not going to say anything about whether I think it's going to happen, but if it does, cool. It seems like everybody is rallying around. They care less about X-Men happening and way more about Fantastic Four being successful again.
That's not what I gathered from what I've talked to people and discussed with people about. But Fantastic Four, now my whole argument for this is long-winded and complicated. So I'm both excited and very trepidatious about this news. So the excited side. What you said, Fantastic Four being done right, you could bring it into the Marvel Cinematic Universe pretty seamlessly. You know what I mean?
Right.
You could tie it in, even though they're the first family. There's a lot of ways you could bring them into what already pre-exists, right? It's kind of like they did with Spider-Man.
Right.
X-Men worries me much more.
Yeah.
Okay? Because number one, X-Men films are up and down in quality. And recently we've had, because Apocalypse was and Days of Future Past was really good. Deadpool was good. A lot of people liked Logan, but I've only seen that movie once, honestly. Right. I thought it was a good movie when I saw it in the theaters, but I've never rewatched it, and I own it on Blu-ray. So long story, much longer here, and we got Deadpool 2 coming. The X-Men stuff worries me, because you can't just start having mutants, and you couldn't have Magneto's kids be Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver, because there's a lot of things that wouldn't work, right? Plus, if you had to do X-Men movies every couple years, plus Avengers movies, and then your standalones, I don't want to wait 6 years for some sequels. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's just, it worries me to the point of it'd be too much. you know? Plus, like, you'd have to, there's no way you could continue with any of the characters that you have on Fox. Like, you'd have to reboot the whole thing. There's no way there's no way that makes sense or would work, in my personal opinion, to bring the pre-existing X-Men universe into the MCU, which means you'd have to hard reboot it, which means realistically you'd have to reboot both the MCU and X-Men all at the same time to have them intertwined.
Right.
You would have to. I mean, Fantastic Four is one thing. X-Men's a totally different. Plus, Deadpool works with Fox. I don't know if Deadpool works with Marvel Studios. Kevin Feige's been on record saying he doesn't want to do another rated R, or they'll never do a rated R superhero film. So if they got X-Men back, does that mean we just stop doing Deadpool, or we try to do Deadpool PG-13 and just rip all the guts out of it? Like,
yeah.
And make the guts look like rainbow because it's fucking PG-13 now? Like,
well, and that could be something that they would, because he said that on record, not assuming that they will have
Deadpool back. I get that. But it's just, that's what worries me about the whole deal. Would I like to see all Marvel properties under the Marvel umbrella? Yes. But it just very much concerns me, especially when it comes to X-Men, because I don't see any way of you introducing mutants into the fold and like having them, like, the X-Men already be the X-Men with all that's going on. And like,
I think
how
you
much,
can do it fine.
No, with how much they know of, like, the whole, like, I don't know. It doesn't work the way it's constituted right now. Like I said, in my opinion,
you're overcomplicating something that can easily brushed off with 5 minutes of exposition.
No, you couldn't introduce the whole X-Men with 5 minutes of dialogue. You couldn't. I mean, it's
That's
not
like the same argument
plus,
between,
you
why
get-
aren't any of these other superheroes helping with all of these cataclysmic events?
Well, actually, they're doing a really good job explaining, like, where Thor was during certain events, and, like, you know what I mean.
And you
like,
don't think they could easily explain why the X-Men
a whole group of beings, mutants, like this thing that's like a global phenomenon, and mutants are like world, especially if they have Inhumans, and they already,
but they've already kind of like introduced the concept.
But they call them like the gifted. They can't use the word mutants.
But once they can be like, yeah, mutants. That's what they were.
I just don't think it would work that well.
I think it'd be fine. I think you're overcomplicating it.
I don't think so. I think you'd have to reset the whole thing.
I don't think you'd.
Yeah?
I don't think so.
I don't think you can just keep going MCU with like everything that's been, and then just throw X-Men in the mix. Fantastic Four, easy. The whole X-Men universe, Wolverine, all that stuff. It doesn't work. I'm thinking you're undercomplicating it. But whatever. So let's take the second piece of that. So now, no more Marvel Netflix series, a live action Star Wars series, Disney's own streaming. I said earlier to you, I think they should just buy Netflix.
Yeah,
that would be the smart play. I mean, Netflix is like $5 billion in debt or something like that. They're like hemorrhaging money at this point.
Yeah,
Disney could absorb it, pretty much take all those subscribers, almost reformat the whole thing. You know what I mean?
Realistically, they would need to change nothing.
Yeah, they just have to take out whatever they don't have the rights to, put all the stuff they wanted to put in, change all the backgrounds and everything, and like the load screens.
Everything
and stuff.
they don't have rights to would be under contract with Netflix for a certain period of time
until that ran out.
So if they bought Netflix, those contracts would still be valid till they come up.
Now that's probably not happening. They're going to do their own streaming service and pretty much kill Netflix at this point.
Well, because Netflix
goes to like $15 a month. That thing is dead in the water.
The trick with Netflix is, as cool as their originals are, there's
some of their originals.
Too much competition at this point to where it's too expensive to get rights.
Well, we were talking about this a couple weeks ago too. Like, how many streaming services though is going to get to the point of too many? You know what I mean? Where no one's going to be making money because it's going to be so thinned out. Because everybody's going to have, you got your Hulu people, you got your Netflix people, you got your like Hulu, Netflix, WWE
but that's
Network.
Like being like there's
Funimation,
too many
HBO Go,
too many channels on your cable package.
Then do you have a cable bill on top of that? Like that's what I'm saying. Like at some point, it's gonna.
Yeah, but have you noticed people are already pairing? Like T-Mobile's pairing with HBO, and you just get it for free.
Netflix.
Is it Netflix?
Yeah, it's Netflix. Like with their family plans, Netflix is included.
Who's paired? Is it Verizon? Someone
I have no
is
idea.
paired with HBO, I think.
But yeah, they do that for their phones and stuff. But I'm just saying for the basic consumer, how many streaming services are you realistically going to have? Maybe 3,
Right.
4 is stretching it, especially if you have a cable or internet provider. You know what I'm saying? Well, you got to have an internet provider, but a cable provider on top of that, or Dish.
But see, the trick
like
is most of the time cable, unless you're getting extra channels, is usually a gimme with your.
No, it's not. No, it's honestly, it's not.
It depends on your package.
It does, but it's always
We have
additional
literally the bare minimum, and it's cheaper to get it with cable
than just having internet. Most of the time they make it that way. A lot of them do
because
But
there's no money.
But
in
that's my
TV.
thing is like it just all these streaming services. It's too much. Got to consolidate at some point. You know what I mean? I need a Walmart of streaming services.
I think it's again like your TV channels or whatever. You pay extra for how many TV channels. Yeah, you can only afford so many before you have to start cutting them. But at the end of the day, is that going to stop you from watching the 10 channels you find the most valuable?
Well, no. But if I had to pay for each individual channel, that's the difference in the streaming services. You're paying. Let's say you get 4 or 5 different streaming services plus your internet and cable. You know what I mean? Eventually, that's what I'm saying. All these streaming services are eventually going to be cannibalizing themselves because not everyone's going to have all of them.
I agree, but
Like,
I think everyone's going to have
sense.
enough of them where yes, if they keep expanding, we may have a problem, but Disney.
Well, they will. That's the thing. Is like everybody. I don't know. It bothers me. Disney's fine. Like I understand Disney doing it, but
Right.
it still like somewhat bothers me. And of course I'm going to get it, but whatever. Like that's beside the fucking point at this point. So more Disney news. So Ryan Johnson, the director of episode 8, everyone's wondering why he didn't do 9. And he was like, I'm so tired. I need a break. Blah, 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 blah. Well, that was a major swerve because then this week they came out and announced that after episode 9, Ryan Johnson's going to be doing a new trilogy. And they didn't say what. See, this is the kicker. They didn't say what the trilogy was.
Right.
So there's no way it's 10, 11, 12. There's no way.
Why?
Because if it's going to be 10, 11, 12, then you're just going to announce that it's 10, 11, 12, that you're continuing the sagas. The only way you don't announce what the new trilogy is if it has nothing to do with that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because you don't want to pull too much focus from what's coming. So you don't want to be like, Knights of the Old Republic.
Right.
They have to do that. Honestly, everybody's saying it. I couldn't agree more. There's no reason to do anything else because you're not going to go like 1,000 years in the future, right? That's fertile ground back there. It is fertile ground.
It's also one of the easiest to like hit. You know?
Yeah. And they didn't say what the Netflix series is going to be, but I wonder. This is another thing I've wondered. It's Disney, right?
Okay.
Are we gonna get shows like Punisher, shows like Daredevil? Are we gonna get? Because is it all gonna be family friendly stuff? Because it's Disney, or are we gonna have like?
I don't know why they would. If they've endorsed it thus far, why would they stop?
Because it's not solely them. It's not, and it's not on a Disney. It says Marvel and it says Netflix. It doesn't really say Disney anywhere. But this is on like a Disney streaming service.
They're real smart. Odds are their streaming service will have like you know how you pick your Netflix.
Well, everything would
name?
have parental controls. Obviously, I mean anything basic has parental controls built into it. But I'm just saying, are they even going to produce things?
Why not?
In that, because they're Disney. Because every movie they make, they never go above like PG-13. Like every Marvel movie, I just worries me that they could, again.
And I don't think it would hinder those shows as bad as.
If those shows weren't as gritty in like, I don't know, if they were just, I don't know, if they were more watered down, they would definitely suck a lot more.
I don't know.
Some of them are already not the best.
I think they could be fine with it.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. Disney streaming service has me nervous, though. I think it comes out in like 2 years, 2019, I want to say.
Jeez.
Because their deal with Netflix runs for a little bit longer, and they're still making, like, Punisher comes out next week. Mm-hmm. I think Jessica Jones season 2 is definitely happening. Daredevil season 3 is, like, definitely happening.
Well, and they could do something with the Defenders before that even happens.
I don't know if I want anything more with the Defenders, to be honest.
That's what I mean.
I'm not even really interested in that.
Something.
I'm interested in some new stuff. Like, start giving some new characters, start building some new worlds. But going back to circling back around to the new trilogy thing, because I think we somehow got back on the streaming service aspect. But so you're talking about the Disney show, the Star Wars show,
Right.
The trilogy excites me because if Disney is confident enough to give this dude his own trilogy, like. Whether he came to them and like, I have this great idea, I want to do this, and they're like, go ahead, or they came to him and like, here's a bunch of ideas, pick one,
right?
Or however it came about.
They must have
liked so much what he did with Last Jedi. They were like, yo, whatever you want. Here's the keys to here's the keys. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what road do you want to take us down? Mm-hmm. Because that he's got carte blanche to kind of pick what this new trilogy is going to be, write and direct this new trilogy says a lot in their confidence. In it. Plus, he's really the only director they've worked with that they've had like zero issue with. Even JJ they had issues with. They've lost multitudes of directors.
Right.
Like it makes sense, but it's also for me it's awesome. I love it. I mean, I haven't even seen Last Jedi, but I'm not even that worried.
Right.
I'm really not that worried. I might go in with my Star Wars goggles on. I don't care. Star Wars colored goggles doesn't matter. Jeez, reckless over here.
Yeah.
Jeez, this is going long. Gotham by Gaslight had a trailer.
It was good.
It was good. I like it. So Gotham by Gaslight is a Victorian age Batman who's pretty much tracking down Jack the Ripper. Mm-hmm. And it's got like Catwoman in it, but everyone's like Victorian age. It looks really cool. Like honestly, it looks something completely different than everything they've done. Like Batman and Harley Quinn was awful. I mean, remember Gods and Monsters? That was good. That was like an Elseworld story. Yeah. This could be pretty decent. I'm actually looking forward to this one.
That they have going on these animated series seem to do better with the Elseworld story type things.
It's up and down. It's just up and down quality. You know, you get Judas Contract, which was pretty good. Justice League Dark, which I also thought was pretty good. Then you get like Killing Joke, which I thought was horrible, and then Batman and Harley Quinn, which was really bad.
But there was even some bad parts in frickin' Judas Contract.
There were some bad parts,
and they were like glaringly bad.
Yeah, Justice League Dark was pretty decent.
And what is that realistically? I mean, it's not an Elseworld story.
No, that's
but
still
it's
within the continuity of like that. But that they have going.
It's
in
not
the
like
DC
your
movies.
classic
Right.
DC stuff. They seem to handle it better.
So I'm interested for the Gotham by Gaslight.
Mm-hmm.
It comes out in 2018. I'd say first quarter. I was looking for the exact date, but they don't even have it online. Dragon Ball Super.
Yeah.
What happened?
A bunch of stuff.
It was the end of the fight.
Yeah,
fighting. Hit versus Goku. Goku gassed out. Intentionally stepped out because they wanted to.
He wanted them to
they
take away
wanted
the
to
kill
abolish
rules.
the rules and go no rules, so Hit could go full force. And then the two
destroyers were fighting,
Yep.
and Goku knew he wouldn't last much longer in his Kaioken, so he was like, well...
Kaioken Super Saiyan Blue stack.
He was like, it's just not worth it. If by the time they're done arguing and agree that it's cool for us to have no rules, I'm going to be completely done.
No energy. And then he jumped back in, then he lost his energy anyways. Then what was the dude's name? The strongest fighter?
I don't even know. He's the pink guy. M?
It starts with an M, but all I can hear is we watched Samurai Champloo afterwards, so all I'm hearing is like Mugen, which is not, because that's the Samurai Champloo's dude name. But it's not like Mygon. I can't remember. Whatever.
That guy.
That last guy. He goes in and he's like just dying. And Beerus, he's like beating sweat and looks like he's going to throw up. And Beerus is just like, crap, what did I do? And he hits Hit with one punch, and Hit just fake jumps out of the ring.
Punch.
Pulls like a who did that? Like Android 18 with Hercule.
Yeah.
Pulled like one of those. Got hit, fell out of the ring, kind of paid Goku back, and then Champa's about to kill all his fighters for failing him, And then him and Beerus both go crazy because some weird looking blue football head looking guy showed up and they called him some name, which I can't remember. And so it's their boss, obviously. It's like the god of gods. And then the episode ended. It was a good episode. It was fine. It was,
It went really, really fast.
When it was pretty much just the end of the last episode and then the fizzle out. And they did drag some of it out, I'd say too long.
Really?
But I would. Some of it, I was like, come on.
I wasn't like that at all. I was like, damn, this thing's already done.
So it was good, though. It was good. So now more new business. We'll find out what the God of Gods wants. So, oh, yeah. So, we don't go to Universe 6. That's right. Earth stays in Universe 7.
So you were wrong.
Because I was wrong. I called that one wrong. Didn't see it clearly.
Well,
Didn't
maybe you should have watched ahead.
That's not fun. That's not what we do here. That's not what we do at all.
That's not what you do here.
It's not. I never have done that. No, a little bit. Just like clips. Never full episodes. It's like if I see something on Facebook or I see something somewhere, I just
quit spoiling it.
I try not to. I know, right? They hate us. Like, share, subscribe.
Like, share, and subscribe.
That's the end of the episode. Till next time. Deuces. If you like what you just saw, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, like our videos, follow us on Twitter and Instagram, and like our Facebook page.